Hey guys, this is Cody with PoolPartsToGo.com. Today we're going to be showing how to change the power cord on the BLACK+DECKER above ground variable speed pump. The tools you need are pretty simple. We just need a Phillips head screwdriver, this one's a Phillips too, a wrench, well, a pair of pliers, and some sort of small wire cutter. There's a zip tie we want to take out whenever we're in there. Before you begin, one of the most important things is to make sure the pump is unplugged and powered down. We definitely don't want power flowing through this guy while we're working on it. So we want to start by removing the 4 screws that hold the keypad down. With those 4 screws removed, and underneath this keypad, there's a small wire that you can pinch and unplug to set this out of your way. Try to make sure this stays dry while we're working on everything. If you need to, grab a towel or something to set it on top of. Once we're inside the wiring compartment of this pump, we want to remove these 3 screws. We want to take a pair of pliers and loosen this big nut right here. And then this little zip tie, which is just there for reinforcement while it's in transit and shipping. Just want to give that a little bit of a snip. And you can pull back on the cable and pull these wires out. So once you remove the existing cable from the pump itself, we do want to save these 2 fittings to reuse on the new cable. So we want to slide those up and off. And set these aside to use with the new cable. So once it's time to reinstall the new cable, you do want to add these fittings onto the cable. You want to start with the plastic nut first and make sure the flat sides of it are facing the end of the cable. Then we want to add on our gasket, which we want the skinny side facing the end of the cable. That's just going to slide right on. We're then able to feed our wires through the threaded port on the pump. That gasket pushes into the threaded part, and then this nut will screw on, and that's where our watertight seal, and it also gives us some pull resistance for yanking and tugging on the cable. Not that you should do that on purpose ever. Inside of the pump, we have our labeled terminals. We have L, N, and then a little pyramid of lines. That means ground. So L is our black or our red wire, depending on your cable. N is our neutral, the white wire. And then the ground, of course, is our green wire, the green ground. You just have to make sure the terminals are loosened up, and you're going to slide the wires underneath their associated terminals. And if your new wire does not have these nice fork terminals, you can just tuck the wires underneath the screw, or you can purchase these types of terminals at any hardware or electrical supply store and then crimp them on. Just try to make sure you don't have any wires touching the terminals that they're not supposed to be on if you do opt not to use crimp connectors. Once every wire is underneath its proper terminal, we just snug these screws back down, and we reinstall our keypad by clipping the wire on, and there's a little latch on there and a little squeezy bit right there. Just make sure those are lined up, and it clicks on. Set the keypad back in place, and then we can now reinstall our screws. There you go. You've now replaced the power cable as needed on your above ground pump.